The problem is saying Anika is making a kite in the shape of a 45-degree, 45-degree, 90-degree triangle. The longest side of the kite is 28 inches. What is the area of the piece of fabric needed for the kite? So again, the key thing that they're asking me for, what they want me to determine, is going to be the area. And so I know that to find my area, I have to have A equals 1/2 base times height. And as we've determined, base and height is going to be the equivalent of A. So I have this triangle, I have my kite, and they're saying it's 45, 45, 90. Let me clean that up a little bit. Okay, so I've got this 45, 45, 90, right? And they're saying C, which is my hypotenuse, because it's always going to be the longest side, is 28 inches. Well, I know I have the length of A must be the same. So I'm going to use my formula C equals A times the square root of 2, like we've been doing. And I'm going to plug in 28 for C. Okay, A square root of 2, C is 28 inches. And as in the other problems, I've got to get A by itself. So I'm going to divide out the square root of 2. And divide out by the square root of 2, which cancels these, making it A equals 28 over square root of 2. Okay, but I can't have a square root on bottom, so I'm going to multiply by my form of 1. And then I end up with 28 square root of 2 over square root of 4, because 2 and 2 is 4, which ends up leaving me with A equals 28 square root of 2 over 2, right? Square root of 4, that ends up being 2. And now I can simplify because 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 28 14 times. So this ends up meaning that A will be equal to 14 square root of 2. Okay, and that is what A is. So now, since A is going to be equal to 14 times the square root of 2, I got to take and I got to plug A in here and here. Okay? Because A is going to be equal to my height, and A is also going to be equal to my base. So I end up with A equals 1/2 times 14 square root of 2 times 14 square root of 2. And what I need to remember, again, is I can take any number and make it a fraction. So I can take this and make it a fraction by just simply saying that I'm going to take and put it over 1. All right, I can always make a number, any number to a fraction if I'll put it over 1. And that just helps keep everything in perspective for me. So then I can take this and I can say, okay, 14 times 14, right? 14 times 14 is going to give me 196. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 gives me the square root of 4. over, and then 2 times 1 is 2, times 1 again gives me 2. And so I'm going to end up needing to simplify the square root of 4 right here, correct? Because it ends up equaling 2. 2 times 2. So now I have A equals 196 times 2. And the reason I have 2 now is because I go up here, the square root of 4, 2 times 2. So the square root of 4 is 2, and that's where that 2 is coming from. And then I'm going to divide all of that by 2. So my 196 right here, I just dropped down from right here. The 2, that's what the square root of 4 equals. And then the 2 in my denominator, I just dropped down from right there. So lastly, I can take, and since I can simplify this right away, I can just say 2, and 2 cancels out, right? Those become 1. So then this just makes A equals 196. And so since it was 100, since they were talking about inches right here, 28 inches, so the amount of fabric I need is 196 inches. Okay. It's a square, so it's 196 square inches of fabric. And that would be my answer for number 19. Okay? Hopefully that helps you with that. Good luck.